Hi Catalyst and Cardano community. This is a project cancellation statement for Fund 6 developer ecosystem titled Logosphere dApp Hackathons. The project number was 600089. And the reason why we're canceling is we didn't run the second hackathon. And I'll wanted to elaborate a little bit more around what we did, where we fall short, and why ultimately we didn't do the second hackathon. So I'll tell you what we did deliver. We did do quite a bit of engineering effort, and from the Catalyst, we were actually able to raise a venture capital seed round, which let us get quite a bit further with additional funds. So with that, we were able to deliver an open source framework, which lets applications kind of bootstrap with domain-driven design paradigms and kind of spec out what their data looks like and start launching on Cardano. So some of that was describing more rich data sets on chain, so with just a little hash. And that was ultimately kind of the value proposition of why you might choose Logosphere, to get started a little bit faster. But ultimately, if you wanted rich data connections, so if you want to store, say, the example that we often give is music. If you want to store the artist name, the release date, album art, and connections to other artists, and you can imagine if that artist were to be performing in a movie as well, now all of a sudden you can link on the artist name with different dApps. And so we did do that with a sample, a couple of examples. That's all available on the logosphere.gitbuck.io and our first hackathon. So from that hackathon, we got over 1,000 signups, about 500 applications, but only a couple of what we would consider legitimate and exciting submissions. And so that's kind of where we were taken back a little bit and saying, this is going to be quite a bit more work to run, to make improvements and run another secondary hackathon where we feel it was good value for the ecosystem. So we did want to cancel because that and not accept those funds coming in. And that's kind of why we've been taking so long to kind of close it out, is to see if there's a way we can repurpose those, make improvements to Logosphere, or do joint hackathons with other people that maybe we can share that hackathon pool with and get more value for the ecosystem. But ultimately, it was just not in a good spot where we decided the best thing to do for the product was to sunset it, open source, and if there's any more market demand around maybe data availability or interest in Logosphere, maybe we revive the project, but it wasn't a good use of community funds for us to spend it on another hackathon. So we hope you can understand our decision and the work that we did up till now. Everything's open sourced. You can see under the Ikigai GitHub, which is github/ikigai-github, or on documentation can be found again at logosphere.gitbuck.io, which has documentation around the SDK, some demos, and things like that. Thank you.